Welcome to Creative Biz School. I'm your host, Darla Kirchner. I love to share my fellow creative entrepreneurs' life and business journeys to empower, inspire, and motivate you. Be sure to head over to Creative Biz School at cbizschool.com and join our creative community today. Welcome to another session. Today I'm joined by Africa Archield, who is a joy strategist. I'm so excited to have her be a part of our motivation series. And Africa, we're so excited to have you here on the show. Thanks for being a part of it.
Thank you so much for having me, Darla. I'm very excited.
Well, I knew that you were the first person that came to my mind when I'm working on this whole motivational series on my blog post, and I thought, you know what, I have to have Africa on because you are just a light and just you're so positive, and I love reading your little videos, and I'm like, I have to have Africa on so she can talk about, motivation and being positive and all of that stuff. So thanks for being here. And can you tell us a little bit about your business and what you do?
Oh my gosh, I think I can. I got permagrin now, Darla. I love working with smart and ambitious women who really want to create more abundance in their lives, abundance of time, abundance of resources, and abundance of joy, of course, so that they can really create the life they want with their family, to pursue their passions, and for themselves. So that's kind of my come from. That's what I do.
Oh, I love it.
I work a lot around reframing money mindset because I find that most women, and really most of anyone, money really colors everything that we do in our lives. And if we don't have a good relationship there, if we don't have a good mindset there, everything else is kind of out of whack. So you'd be surprised when you really learn how to work with your money personality, how well things come together.
Oh,
and it
wow.
creates everything else.
Yeah, we could talk an hour just about that, and I'm sure you'll have to come back on and talk about that more, because I know I work with a lot of artists and creatives and DIYers, and it's hard for them to think about their value, that their art, the things that they're so passionate about and they are naturally gifted at doing and giving to people, have such great value. So that's a whole topic into itself for sure. And I know that you've got some things that you're working on right now that you're going to be sharing even like as early as next week. You want to share a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. And this might actually be helpful for people. Monday through Wednesday of next week, May 19th through 21st, I'm doing a webinar summit with 5 other women. There's 6 of us. We're all mompreneurs. Awesome. And we're sharing our stories, our wisdom. And the big thing we're hoping that people walk away with is crystal clear on their big why. Their next steps. So I know, okay, I see the big picture, but I only need to go this baby step or this little leap, okay?
Yes.
And then also that, I lost my train of thought. But those 2 things,
it's okay.
Definitely, is what we're hoping that I lose my train of thought.
Really, it's okay.
Sometimes,
Trust me. I had coffee to keep me going. No, because I know isn't it a 3-day summit? Isn't it like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
It's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There's 6 of us, so there's 2 interviews a day, one at noon Central, one at 8 o'clock in the evening Central. The first one on Monday is the kickoff with me, and then the other 5 are interviews. I'm looking forward to it. We call ourselves the Love Revolution Evolutionaries.
Oh, I love it.
We're going to do business our own way. And I think that's really important. I think it might be really important for creatives as well, because the traditional business model doesn't feel so great. And so sometimes you just have to do it your own way, a little bit different, but you still have to do business.
So true. You hit everything of what I believe in, and I want to listen in. So I'll definitely put all your information and all this in for the audience so that they can go on and check it out and listen and learn, because it's about finding your own voice and being authentic and finding your own way and you can find abundance and be able to live the life that you want. That takes money. And so you have to get over those money issues and things like that too. So that sounds really exciting. I'm so glad. I'm so excited you shared it, and perfect timing for us, right?
Yes.
Yay.
Worked out perfectly.
So tell me about, since you're kicking it off and everything, what do you do? What type of products and services do you offer to your clients and stuff? So.
Oh, wow. So
yeah.
you got me with the trick question.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get you with a trick question.
No, it's okay. I mainly offer a couple of different things. One is I do a lot of different assessments. Some are free, some are paid assessments. Mm-hmm. I also do joy journey strategy sessions to see what it takes to get you on your joy journey. And then from there, I offer other products. Okay. So one thing that's coming up starting June 2nd, I'm having a class, which is Transform Your Money Experience. And it's 9 weeks long, and it's more than about money. As creatives know, as you mentioned, it's about joy, it's about family, it's about life, it's about faith, it's about integrating all those things together. And when you're not worried about money, you're really living fully in your values.
Oh,
so
that's perfect. Can I put that as a quote?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so true. It is so true, and it's taken me 20 years to start to really figure this out. And so, and everybody, you find your way as you go, but you can't. You're never going to get there unless you try to keep pushing yourself to grow, right? And get out of your comfort zone.
Oh my gosh, I think you had a graphic on that, where you are now and then where you want to go, and this is your comfort zone, and over there is the genius.
Uh-huh.
It's so hard to get out of your comfort zone because the change, the moving out is really messy and scary, and you don't know what's going to happen, and you can't see it clearly. But when I think about this, I think about creatives especially. I think, when you're creating art, and I'm in no way an artist. When you're creating, I do stick figures badly. When you're an artist, I always, think you have this vision in your mind. And then sometimes it turns out exactly like that vision. Other times it doesn't. And that's kind of how it is jumping out of your comfort zone. Sometimes it turns out exactly how you want. Sometimes it doesn't. But the journey getting there is so amazing. So I think that is even the biggest reason to jump out of your comfort zone.
Oh, it's so true. It's funny you said that, because I remember when I had my, I had a ceramic business, and I was working constantly, and I had great success, but I always kept wanting to, I would even say this to my friends and my coworkers, and I would say, I just wish I had a crystal ball. I wish I knew where I was going. But now it's like, it's the journey. It's the journey and learning as you go, because you just have constantly to push yourself out of your comfort zone. And I think it's so true. And so I love that graphic. And a little sidebar, my daughter just had her awards banquet last night, and the assistant principal was talking, and he was talking about that with these kids. I mean, these are 8th grade kids, and they're all in honor society and all that stuff. And he was saying always try to strive and push yourself out of your comfort zone. So it's awesome that they're teaching these kids, these 14-year-old kids, the right way. So I think, I think us being authentic and doing things on our own terms and our own way, other people will find us, right? And so I'm so excited that you're doing this. I want to listen in. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. And I know that today we're talking about motivation, but think how much not just yourself, but other people around you, when you're living authentically, when you're doing it your way and making it work, when you're jumping outside your comfort zone. And I know for myself, when you said that, it reminded me how motivated I am when I know that I'm leading by the right example. I'm actually showing people the way. That's very motivating for me. And especially when you said that I always think at school is not quite always doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And to hear that vice principal came in and said, look, jump out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Don't be a robot. Don't
exactly.
be the dog in the
Don't
machine.
go with the crowd, and that's what, these kids, they're so impressionable at that age, right? Yes. And so I was very excited and happy to hear him say that, because he even went out and say, talking about, on the news, he said, I wish that all of the news channels would come here and videotape this, because
Yeah.
these are the great kids that are going to make a change in the world, as opposed to the one kid who strayed and went the wrong way. And they highlight
Yes.
the negative and never the positive. And so we're going to be the positive lights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you a couple of things. If you could share maybe like 2 or 3 tips with our audience, and things that might help them find more joy in their life or their business. If you would offer maybe 1 or 2 or 3 tips, whatever comes to mind, that might
Okay.
give them some joy or motivate them or help them become more positive, or things that might that you could share with them.
Okay, one thing came to mind, and it's partially what you just said about the principal. Just he wishes they would videotape, come in and cover this gathering, the banquet, versus the one kid who went the wrong way,
Right.
and that were world changers. And then one thing I would want to say was, let your freak flag fly. And
Love it.
my daughter's over there waving in the background because she's teching a musical, Shrek.
Uh-huh.
And there's a song in there, let your freak flag fly. And it's so important. And I think it's because, like I said before, not only are you showing the right way, but you're being authentically who you are.
Right.
And people are highly attracted to that.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they're tired of just seeing the same old, same old. They want something different. And you have a light inside of you that is absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So let that burn. Let everyone see it. Let it shine. Don't hide it. And I think a lot of time, and I'm thinking about very specific people I know in my life who are creatives. They don't want to really get out there because they're a little concerned about the attention.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you have this beautiful gift that you really have to let out. So that's why the freak flag or the light, however you want to look at it, that's what needs to be happening. Don't be afraid to let that show. Don't be afraid of the attention. Yes, you're going to get haters.
Yeah.
That's part of it when you step out.
Right.
But when you have haters, that you have people who fiercely love you too.
Oh, that's so awesome. You just touched me, because because it's hard. It's hard, especially as a creative. We're sensitive souls. We wear, sometimes we can wear our heart on our sleeves. You can see it in my face sometimes if if I'm upset. So that's something that's way out of our comfort zone, and to do that sometimes. And but I think it's a necessary part of the process, right? It's part of what you have to do. I love the whole freak flag whatever. I'm gonna get that.
Fly.
I love that. Tell her I'm giving her a high five from here. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a great tip. So, do you have any other words of wisdom?
The other thing I would say, again, I'm thinking about one of my friends who's a creative, is don't. I would say money isn't evil. I grew up in. My grandfather's a minister, a pastor. So is my father, my uncle. I grew up in a church. And for some reason, I always heard that money is the root of all evil. And I think this is something that's permeated through society. I just find it, especially with my friends who are creative, that they really think money is evil and you're selling out and all these other things. And this past year, and I'm almost done. I started last summer reading the Bible cover to cover.
Wow.
Because I never have. Look how old I am. I never have.
You are beautiful, but I have to tell you, before I forget this thought, I am the same way. I've never read it cover to cover. My father has read it 4 times.
Yeah,
And I love that.
I've never read it. So I'm almost done. I'm like in the 4th or 5th chapter of Revelations now.
Wow.
But when I read what it actually said, it said the love of money is the root of all evil. I'm like, how did I miss that?
Wow.
How did I miss that? And, this is the deal that I've told my friends, I'm now telling your group, you don't have to be in love with money. I know a lot of people out there say you have to love money. And I personally, it doesn't jive with me.
Right.
I'll have to be honest. But you have to have a healthy respect for money. You have to have a healthy relationship with money. And it's not evil. It's like oxygen. We need it to live.
Yes.
So, you know, so you don't have to be afraid of it. You don't have to repel it. And I think I might have said this to you earlier. So if I'm repeating myself, I apologize.
No.
It's only when you're not thinking about money anymore that you're living fully in your values, where you can really go out and be of service instead of being absolutely drained. So my tip is, don't be afraid of money. Don't think it's evil. You're not selling out by selling your art or whatever it is that you do at a price that aligns with its value, with your value, and provides you with a more than a living. Please stop aiming for the ground. Okay?
Oh, that is perfect. That is so perfect. Well, you just did a video and I loved it. And it was this little video, and I love the fact that you were in your jammies. It was at night. You were in the bathroom. And I'm like, you were like making me like, okay, I can do this. If Africa could do this, just what I just said, I can do this. And so that's why I'm bravely coming out and doing the video with you, because I wanted, it's like, this is outside my comfort zone. I'm the person who's behind the camera, not in front of the camera. But you talked about flight or fight, right? Flight.
Yeah, that reptilian part of our brain that has us either in fight mode or flight. So if something bad's happening, we either fight it or we flee. Boom, we're out of here.
Right.
And what people forget is the third F. We all know about fight. We all know about flight.
Yep.
But there's also freeze.
Yes.
Where we do absolutely nothing.
Yes.
And go ahead, Darla. What did you want to say about the video?
I loved it. And I've got a very good friend of mine who I know will be listening to this, and she is a wonderful artist. And she's actually doing a whole series on fight or flight. So I know this is going to inspire her in her series. She is a metal artist. Her name is Patty Byron, and she's awesome. And she so I instantly thought of her. But then as I was listening to your video and you said the freeze, it is so true, because literally Africa, I could cry because I did that for 4 years. I just sat in freeze mode and I kept saying, well, and I wouldn't say, if I'm honest with myself, I was using that time to find myself, to find my inner light, and to heal. I had to go through some healing process because I closed down my studio. It was right in the middle of the economic craziness. And it was tough. It was really, really tough. And I'm just now able to voice some of this. So I was in freeze mode. And now I feel better that I know when I'm not, and I can see where a lot of people, they do that. You either are in those three places, or you decide that you're going to let your light shine and you're going to go, right? And start walking. We're not talking running. You might need to crawl for a little while. I did.
Yes. I was like, definitely. Sometimes you need to crawl.
Exactly.
I've been in a lot of spaces where I needed to crawl, and that's all that could happen is crawl time.
Yeah, and that's okay. Okay, as long as you're moving, right? And you're learning and you're growing. And that's what I really want. That's why I was so excited when I started listening to your videos, and I've loved talking to you, and I'm so excited that you were on here, and you're just always you just emulate happiness and joy. It's in your face. And I've never had my aura done, but if you ever got your aura done, I'm sure it would be nice and bright and yellow or something.
You really honor me. You're too sweet.
It's true. It's true. And I love your authenticity and what you do and sharing this. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us, because I know that this is exactly what the creatives and the artists and the DIYers of my audience want to hear. They need to hear it. And I think this will really serve them. So let me ask you one more question before I let you go. Waksha, I'll give you a choice. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
want to put you on the spot. Okay. So I have 2 questions here, and you can answer whichever one you want. What is the most challenging moment in your career and why? Or what's your definition of happiness?
Oh, wow. One's easier to answer than the other. I'll take the hard one.
Okay.
I might answer both. Okay, the most challenging moment of my career. Probably just like everyone else. There was that moment where I was like, what on earth am I doing? No one is listening to me. No one cares. No one's watching my videos. No one's reading my blog posts. Um,
Wow.
I've got no engagement. There's hardly anyone on my list. There's someone following me. Name whatever metric that you want.
Right.
And why should I bother? Why should I even keep going on?
Right.
And I guess what I want to say is you're sowing seeds. You're sowing seeds. And sometimes, and I mean, this is biblical and I've heard it used other places too. But some of those seeds are going to fall by the wayside and the birds are going to go get them. Mm-hmm. Right? So let the birds get them and go on. So other people hear your great ideas or see your art and they may copy it. Mm-hmm. They may take away your clients. All sorts of things can happen. Right. Some of the seed grows on, I think it's rocky ground, and the sun comes up and it withers and dies because it's just too much, you know. And so those weren't your people either. Right. And it's okay. Some grows and gets thrown on the ground. It gets choked out by weeds and thorn bushes and whatnot. Again, that's, you know, stuff comes up for people, even though they were engaged for a little while and then they just kind of go away and you're like, what the heck happened? Right. I thought that was someone who was really for me. And that's okay. And then some goes on the fertile ground and produces a harvest that you can reap. And it just takes time. And I realized I was in that mode where I was just sowing. I was just sowing and waiting for that harvest. So even when it looks really dark, even when it looks like impossible and no one cares, you're sowing. Reaping comes later. So.
Wow. Wow. I needed to hear that. And so, yeah,
it's just so hard.
And it just resonates, I think, with so many people. And thank you for sharing that. Honestly, thank you for sharing that. I mean, I could cry right now, but I have mascara on. I don't normally put a lot on. So you don't want to look, that would be ugly. But thank you for sharing.
I was going to say one other thing. You asked the other question, my definition of
happiness.
Happiness.
Yes.
And it's the same as my definition of joy, which is laughter. Laughter.
Awesome.
I love, as you can tell, I love to laugh. Yes. And that's happiness, that's joy, that's everything. That's revitalizing, not just to my spirit, but to my body. When you laugh and you have those deep belly laughs, all the oxygen pours through your system and you're just, literally, I feel myself vibrating at a whole different level. So laugh like crazy, deep belly laughs that are rejuvenating. Laugh. It's so important.
Love that. And it's funny you said that because laughter is like ripples, right? So when my kids are being silly or something and we're all laughing and stuff, everybody is uplifted. And it's
I was going to say, it's very contagious. Very contagious laughter.
It is. It is very contagious. That is beautiful. Perfect. Awesome. Oh my gosh. Thank you for sharing everything with us. And I will definitely be sharing all of your new upcoming events that you've got going on. And I am sure that our audience will love to be a part of it. I know I'm going to be a part of it. So thank you for coming on and sharing with us your tips and strategies of being joyful and to motivate and the whole money and passion and laughter. This is all exactly what I know I want to hear, and I think it'll be a wonderful tools and suggestions stuff for our audience too. So thanks for coming on, Africa. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Darla. I'm absolutely honored. I'm blessed that you even thought about me to have me on to talk to your tribe. So thank you.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you were inspired and ready to take your business and life to the next level. Don't forget to head over to cbizschool.com, join our creative community, and get weekly tips and tools to grow your creative biz today.